How's it hanging, everyone? This is Mr. Panda from Manly Battleships, coming to you with a new exciting playthrough project. The game that I've chosen for this adventure is Rome 2 Total War. In my version, it's the Emperor Edition. Well, Mr. Panda, you might say, this is a really old game, and in fact, you are correct. This originally came out in 2013. The latest expansion came out August of last year, so why am I playing it now? To be perfectly honest with you, with the few playthrough projects that we've done, I've never been super interested in trying to coach you and teach you how to play the game. When I do want to do a playthrough, it's usually because I just want to play the game, have fun, or have a special idea in mind. And in this case, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're not going to be playing this in the way you might expect. Now, if for some reason you decide that you do want to follow along or try to follow in our footsteps, here's what you need to know. We're going to be playing a grand campaign map, and we're going to be playing as the base Roman faction, but we're going to be choosing the House of Cornelia. Standard difficulty level, no big deal. We're not going to be using any mods in this game. It's going to be the standard loadout with, all the standard expansion packs, but there's not going to be any special adjustments to the campaign settings. A few quick notes as we get here onto the campaign map. These notices, one of my biggest gripes with this game, despite how much I love it, is the absolute sheer volume of notices that you get all the time, for things that I don't even really care about. And for the most part, we're going to be ignoring that. But here's the thing. We are now the most powerful, or at least what will be the most powerful faction of the ancient world. Rome. Yeah, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful Rome. Since we skipped the intro message, all you really need to know is that we're at war with the Etruscan League. These douchebags right up here in the north. There's a whole bunch of other people going out here, hanging out. Carthaginians. Hannibal with his elephants is somewhere out there. Just a bunch of people. The Mediterranean. Not a whole lot going on. But here's the thing. My faction leader has had a dream. He has a dream and a new goal in life. He wants to start a new sport that will take the world by storm. Bog Ball. But in order to play this new sport of his called Bog Ball, he needs a swamp. As you might know, Italy is not exactly suited for this. Look at all these mountains. And some forests and open, a few open fields, but not really a lot in the way of swamps. But he has heard of rumors that to the north, there is a land where there are bogs and swamps aplenty to play the new sport of Bog Ball. So we're going to get on that. Screw Italy. We're going to leave it behind and go on a new quest. First things first. We start out with a couple of military units, all the grouped up units in forming an army. And this name here just will not do. It will not do at all. So what we're going to do here is rename these fine fellows from Legio 2 to Imperial Bog Trotters. Yeah, that's the ticket. Now we also get a second army right here at the beginning, somewhere. They're located, right down here. And we're going to rename these guys. Well, they need to be a good companion team, because these two armies are going to be the competing teams, the basic teams of our new league. Now, since our faction leader, good old Cornelius Scipio here, this is my faction leader here. He doesn't get the Imperial Bog Trotters, unfortunately, because his team isn't in the Imperial faction. But you know what? Let's go ahead and call these the Cosentia Coasters. Yeah, that's a good name. And the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to be going on a long expedition, all right? I mean, I don't know if you noticed here, but this isn't exactly a walk down to the supermarket. There's a long way to go. So we need to make sure that these teams are nicely decked out. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and up the ante here and recruit a couple of extra units to make sure that we are all set to go. Now, we're going to trade as many as we can in this one turn. We got a few ranged units and a decent amount of heavy infantry, but I think we really do want to up the heavy infantry here, because where we're going, we might need it.
Ready for orders.
So both of these units are going to get, well, he doesn't have a whole lot to go on in general, so what we'll do, how many units can we manage here? You can only recruit 5. It feels like ranged infantry is something that I'll be able to get somewhere else along the way. So we're going to go ahead and just go with a full heavy infantry loadout for both of these groups. Now, if they're going to take a whole turn to actually train up, so we're going to leave them alone. And I also happen to have a navy, though it does feel a little out of style to just leave this unit chilling out here. So what we're going to do is we're going to rename it. Obviously, they can't compete in BOG Ball because they're, you know, boats, but we're going to rename them anyway into the Scoodly Poopers. Since they have nothing else to do here in the Mediterranean, and we really don't care about Italy, we're going to just go ahead and switch them to a double-time movement and start heading them in the direction that we all want to go. Because why not? And we'll do a quick scan around. I think we will expand one space in Rome because, I mean, as long as we have Italy, we might as well use it to fund our endeavors elsewhere. And, of course, we'll get a little bit of money-making going because we want some money. Cannot forget, under the Research tab, the Technology tab. Under the Technology tab, we actually will need some technology to make sure that we're going to be squared away in our new home. But since we only get 2 options to start with, I'm thinking we're really going to want the military aspect of things because we're going where no man has gone before. Now, helpfully, at the start, we also get this agent here, this nice little spy guy, and he can start scouting ahead, finding us the quickest, most efficient route to our new Sportsplex. So he'll head on up there, right through the Etruscans. Looks like we will be we're gonna have to walk right through enemy territory to get this done. No matter, it's not that big of a deal. But that's our first turn for you. Yeah, sitting through the turn rotation is always part of the annoying stuff. Not a whole lot going on. Our second turn, and get 2 notices right off the bat. Nothing important, other than, yes, a quartermaster's report showing that, look at all that beautiful Hastati. Basic heavy infantry of the old Republic. There's not a whole lot down here in the Mediterranean that we're going to be caring about from this point on, so instead, what we have to do is get our boys moving up to our new competitive Sportsplex. And in order to do that, we're going to shift them to a forced march setting so that they can up the amount of movement they can do in a turn. Let's get a move on. And we're just going to have to... we can't move directly into enemy range, so we'll just skirt that a little bit. Just make sure we can get around it. We don't care about him. And it looks like our boy has already found the fastest way through.
I seek.
We're heading towards the Alps, and we're going to have to get our navy a little bit closer to land. We don't want to stay out in the open water with these guys. They got a long way to go. And since nothing else is happening, that's our second turn, nice and quick. Oh no, someone found our agent. Whatever will I do? Yeah, on the bright side, we did get our research done. And it's winter. Glorious, glorious winter. Happily in Rome 2 Total War, you can actually click pretty far ahead. I think it's up to 8 moves, and it will plot it for you. So just in case you forget to move your guys on your own, you'll just keep trucking along that little path there. Now, both of our teams are finally about to get out of our home territory. One of them is going to be stuck in Etruscans territory for just a little bit longer. Oh no, look at that. Sorry, guys. As you can see, we're going to be pissing off a lot of people here because we're going to be walking through a lot of territory. But, you know, that's the price you pay for trying to get to a new land. We did complete research, so we'll want to make sure we up the tech here. What's going to be the most useful thing? Yeah, we're definitely going to want to keep pushing some military tech because we want to be really well situated once we get to where we're going. And since we aren't going to be having any real forces left in Italy, it pays to, you know, just have a housekeeper around the place. So just real quick is raise 1 extra. And normally I would pick my own guys, but I have a feeling I'm going to need them later down the road. So we're actually just going to pick someone from a rival faction who's not too important. Someone like you.
Ready for orders.
And we will use him. Kind of just keep an eye on things while we're away.
I want hourly patrols.
But for the most part, we're basically just saving up money here. Because this is a very, very expensive endeavor we're on. And as a new turn opens, happily, it doesn't look like either of our guys have been harassed by the Etruscans, though I am definitely ticking some people off by walking through their territory. Too bad. It's just trespassing after trespassing.
My skills are your...
Dun 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 da da dum. Da 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 da. So we got all the movement taken care of, and of course we're going to take a peek back here in home territory. I'll stick him down in the apples. Yeah, just in case. We want to keep an eye out on the home guard while we still can, because I mean, like, we are going to be getting a little bit of money out of them. Speaking of which, now for those of you unfamiliar with Rome 2 Total War, basically how it works is there are individual territories or cities that make up a province, which is like a cluster of them. And in order to actually get the bonuses associated with empire growth, as well as some, you know, other abilities, you have to actually take all the cities within a specific province. So, for example, Magna Graecia, which includes these two down here, but also includes Labaeum and Syracuse, neither of which we're really interested in. In Rome, it would also include Arminium and the Lathri, which are owned by the Etruscans. Since we do not care about either of those, though, we're just not going to worry about it. Our tech's coming along pretty nicely, our armies are moving. What really matters right now, since no one seems to care so far, well, maybe we've ruffled a few feathers, but nothing too bad, right? You probably got the gist by now that there's not going to be a whole lot going on in these first few turns other than movement, just because I'm not interested in dumping money into Italy when the future is up north. Yeah, we got our research done. We got a motivated populace. All right, they're super jazzed for my new sport. And a couple little perks here and there. Yeah, awesome. All right, everyone is very excited, even back in Italy, even though Italy is not going to be the focus of this game at all. Oh boy, trespassing against ancient Swiss and whoever the Sequani are. Actually, my familiarity with old Roman-era tribes is a little bit rusty, gotta admit. And we did get our money-boosting building back here in Rome, but I don't know if I really need to develop it further, because by the time we get a bonus from the boost, the number of turns that's going to take to actually make up for the loss and the surplus that we're going to have, I don't know. I don't think it's really worth it. What the heck. It's only 3 turns. That'll probably give us just enough of a boost to actually make it worth it. Gotta keep an eye on our research now. Now, what are our options here? An auxiliary barracks. Now, that's something that could definitely be useful. It could open up a lot of recruiting options once we get to where we're going. On the other hand, there's also things that could be useful for other reasons, like siege equipment. Now that's something that could be useful. So we're going to go for that because that's only 2 turns of research. Clipping right along here. One of the biggest problems with the game is definitely it takes forever to walk where you're trying to go. Uh-oh, the Etruscans are coming down. The Etruscans are in my territory. The Senate wants me to kick these guys out. And I gotta tell you, that's not gonna happen. Oh, Syracuse is at war with Carthage. Carthage is on the move. The Mediterranean is getting interesting for some people, but not for me. Now, here's the real question. Now, this guy has an army going on. Is he actually going to try to attack Rome directly? Huh. Well, might as well command Rome. Our housekeeper here is going to keep an eye on things while we go and do what's necessary to achieve my dictator's dream. Here we go. We finally found a beach. In Rome 2 Total War, you can't just directly offload anywhere you want willy-nilly. When troops want to go on the water, they do... something that I always thought was interesting was in Rome 2 Total War, when troops go on the water, they don't have to rely on regular navies or anything. They just form their own boats. And in the ancient world, obviously those ships are pretty crappy, but at least they can do something. And they have to have like a beach area in order to do that. So, our spy has finally found that beach, and we're going to be able to actually get ashore, hopefully. to Britain and figure out what's what. First we have to get them out on the water. So since we now know where we're going exactly on the northern coast of Gaul, we can plot there. Oh, now the Trevorai, I remember those guys. And our Consentia coasters aren't too far behind, so let's just get them on the move. We'll get there eventually. Oh, well, they're actually taking a slightly different route. And we got a little blockade going on here. Hopefully they're not going to cause us any problems. We're just passing through, guys. Like, just want to get to the beach. It's fine. And the Scoodly Poopers are moving right up the coast. Now, we don't know what to expect from the Etruscans here. They could circumvent this altogether and go visit the south of Italy. But, like I said, we'll just have to see what happens. But for now, that's another ended turn. See, this style of gameplay doesn't work for everyone, and of course, if you're observing it, I hope that your patience will hold through it. But I always really liked grand strategy games. Oh, here we go! They have besieged Rome right off the bat. That's not something that I would normally expect from them. Under siege? Oh, no. But despite that... Oh, we got our research completed? Sweet. Oh, we're losing a few men. Oh, it's from the siege, obviously. Whoo! We are not going to be able to do that. Here's something that you'll want to notice with import. Now, a lot of big fans of the Total War series really, really like the real-time strategy aspects, which is the actual combat unit-to-unit battles. And they're fine. I really do enjoy them from time to time, and I even enjoy watching some people play them. But they're not, for me, the most important feature of the game. In fact, especially when you go talking about older Total War games, I was always more of the grand map kind of player, mostly because I was a lot of my early gameplay style is influenced by Civilization games. I usually only auto-resolve attacks. There's a couple times that I don't. But, like, especially in this situation, if I was to actually do this, there's no reason to go into battle. Not really. I mean, there's a small chance that you could pull off something miraculous, and I've done it before, especially in other versions like Warhammer Total War, but here it's just unnecessary. They're going to besiege us for a little bit. They might get tired of it. They might run away. They might attack. Certainly, I think our best bet will be down here in the home country, so to speak, letting them decide to attack. In the meantime, let's focus on what's really important. Let's take a look at what's available on tech. Now, blacksmith could be helpful, but more than likely we're going to want to find something else. Now, we could use some extra morale boost. We could also potentially want to... Yeah, I think when we're actually looking at it, we're probably just going to open the land management technology tree. Because, I mean, once we get up there and invite ourselves in, we're going to have to actually manage things, you know? So our spy is finally going to get out of the water and head towards the coast of our new home. While everyone else starts heading in for the beach. Now, are we going to be able to get past? That's the real question. Let's find out. Oh, we ran right on past them. And right into someone else's territory. So while we're ticking everyone else off, we are well on our way. Our first team, the Imperial Bogtrotters, is about to hit the channel that will take us to Britain. Another well-completed turn. The mission remains the same, no matter what is happening in the land of our forefathers. We must stay the course. And with that, the Imperial Bogtrotters finally make it onto the channel. They are now waterborne. But that's going to be something that's going to take another turn for the Consentia coasters. So while they're done, our spy can finally find some place for us to hit up.
Sailors have such rough hands.
And our spy has made
How
landfall.
may I serve you?
Camalodunum. And they have quite a few people just hanging out there. So Camalodunum is probably not where we want to form our new league. Instead, we're going to probably head down the coast and see what's going on over there, if you know what I mean. And the usual lineup of peace and war. Oh no, the surrender is imminent. Ugh. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. Yeah. That is too bad. Well, what would happen right now? Well, it would not be good. It would not be good at all.
And silent.
Okay, so the good news is there's a beach closer to our goal, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Iska. Iska, or as it will, I sense that one day, long from now, this area will include a place called Cornwall. And that sounds like a place that I want to be. So, we're going to skirt the coast a little bit here, and what we're really going to do is fall in on this beach right here. That'll give us a little bit more time to get in position, because they do have a decent number of men. But if we focus both of our teams on this first exhibition of Bog Ball, I have a feeling that we will be able to be the victors. Our treasury has managed to store up a little bit of a reserve, which is good, because we don't know what's going to be happening if our ancestral land is actually going to be able to keep funding our expedition given enough time. This turn is the one where I expect something to be happening. Oh no! And the guy we left as a housekeeper not only failed in his mission, he got burned.
How may I serve you?
Well, that's about it. Well, that did not take long. So, even though we have not yet made it to our new homeland of Britain, the Etruscans moved right in there and made sure that they made themselves at home. So, hope you guys enjoy that. This doesn't seem to have affected our cash flow too much yet, and we don't have a negative food surplus, which is good. But we really need to get the ball rolling, because who knows how long they're actually going to be able to support us after that. So it'll be best if we change our stance to a regular before making landfall, because then we can't be quite as surprised if they decide to come out. And yes, we are trespassing, except we're not truly trespassing. We're coming to make ourselves at home, guys. Hope you're ready. So while that's going on, we're going to go ahead and see what else is out there, because this is going to be our new domain. And it's good that we make acquaintance with the locals, see what else is going on here. Not too bad.
Nice gift.
And the Scoodly Poopers are getting very close. We're rounding the corner of Gaul here, and are within spitting distance of our new home in Iska. There's nothing standing between the Etruscans and visitation rights of southern Italy at this point, but pleasantly, I don't care. Oh, that didn't take long. They have now also besieged Neapolis, and since I have absolutely no interest in fighting this one-on-one, we're just going to give it to them as best we can. Looks like a protective stance will give us the best casualty result against them, so let's go with that. Hopefully we get a little bit of a bloody nose. No, that was kind of pathetic. Good job, guys. You tried. You tried. Now we do have a food shortage. Oh no, they destroyed the garrison. Nah, that's alright.
It is an honor to serve Rome.
Now we want to get these guys right here.
Disembarking now.
Because, although they are in a forced march stance,
At your command.
we can now launch an immediate attack. Oh yes. Yes we are.
We take this settlement for Rome.
And to make sure we get this right, we're going to just encircle it for now.
Laying siege
We want to
the
be able to
settlement.
get this right. And the Scoodly Poopers will be able to get up here and reinforce a little bit.
For a new
I better check out my faction messages for a little bit. He defaced the Temple of Jupiter. Well, you know what? Quite honestly, The Temple of Jupiter isn't owned by us anymore, so let's not do anything. We're going to focus on what really matters. And for some reason, they decided to directly... These dumb Noni, yeah, they are a little bit dumb. They're attacking my fleet directly. We're just going to back off. Ooh. They want to bring it to a head right off the bat. Well, here's to victory. With an aggressive stance, we're able to win, though it cost a lot. Now we're going to need a little bit of extra money here. So, we're going to release those little guys. Iska, Iska, Iska. Now what else are we going to need here going forward? Now we're going to want a little bit of an economy boost because we're going to have to make up for everything that we're in the middle of losing back in Italy. Get the Schooly Poopers back up here to support. And let's do what we've been meaning to do for so long, and that is finally start Bog Ball. That's much better. And with that, we will occupy Iska. Oh, we completely destroyed the faction, which means there's no random armies just running around somewhere out there. While we have some money into converting this over to a fine Roman province. Now, we don't have a food shortage anymore, so we don't have to worry about that. So we're going to go with a harbor for some trade. Go with a grain pit for some food boost, and then what kind of settlement are we going to want? Well, since we're building a harbor, we're going to want a market settlement, of course. And ultimately, our first goal has been achieved. We have taken Iska, which will now be officially the home of the Imperial Bog Trotters. Now, of course, there's a problem. This is not baseball. We cannot have two teams in one city. So we also are going to have to expand from here so we can finally set up a full league. Ah, yes, look out across this wondrous country. This is my swamp. Ah, more swamps up here, too. So while our ancestors continue to lose ground down in Italy, we have taken the first step towards a glorious future for Bog Ball up in Britain. And we're going to continue to see the expansion of this wondrous new sport and all the rewards that come with it in the next episode of this special project. So until then, I'm Mr. Panda, and this has been a Rome 2 Total War playthrough. See ya on the next one.